think it should be good. All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And I got the brother I'm now Allah here with me, and through the spirit wanted to go into a quick lesson dealing with the title of this knowledge. All right, wasn't given to us to flex or to boast, and this is inspired by something that the Apostle Paul said in the book of 1 Corinthians, first chapter, all right, and the second chapter, concerning there's also another precept that mentions that knowledge puffeth up, which is true. You know, when you as you gain more and more knowledge, you know, like there's this whole concept like situation where you have this mad scientist who at first is just a regular individual, and as they have this breakthrough and they increase in knowledge, they learn new things, everybody else starts to sound like a moron to them because all these other people don't understand what this person is saying, you know. But in this truth, as the Apostle Paul mentioned, that knowledge puffeth up, because you start to learn more things, and people that don't know these things start to seem almost less, you know, to you, which is what leads to what? Pride, ultimately. All right, and that's something that we have to guard against. Nevertheless, the Holy Scriptures, the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, all right, though it's deep, you know, and though it's powerful, the point that you of learning these scriptures is not so you can go and flex around with it and you know, to those that are without, you know, to seem like, oh, look at me, look at what I know, or, you know, look at what I can do. All right, because as we're going to read in the book of 1 Corinthians, the Apostle Paul gives a perfect explanation as to why and how you ought to be with this knowledge. The scriptures, not the scriptures, but there's a saying that goes, with great power comes great responsibility. All right, so let's get that real quick. Because, Slakia, remember that the point of this truth is not to emphasize us or to glory in ourselves, but to magnify Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So those that are the sheep that we're gathering is not for us. All right, we're gathering the Lord's sheep. So ultimately, any praise, glory, honor, it's supposed to be directed to the Lord. All right, and if you see anything trying to come your way, you got to redirect it to the source, which is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Got it, bro.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and 1. And I, brethren, when I came to you, came not with excellency of speech.
Right, now this is the Apostle Paul writing this epistle or this letter to the church of Corinth, because after they were set up, you know, he received report that there were a lot of carnal things going on in there. All right, the church of Corinth was basically completely out of order, you know, allowing, you know, sexual immorality, divisions, being carnal minded. Okay, and so the Apostle Paul is addressing that in the book of 1 Corinthians, and that's why he speaks on various things. He addresses various things that the Corinthians were doing, or the Israelites in Corinth were doing, that they weren't supposed to be doing. Okay, now he's mentioning here that, you can read that part again, Bakusha.
Verse 1. And I, brethren, when I came to you, came not with excellency of speech or of wisdom, declaring unto you the testimony of God. Keep going.
Yeah, now he's saying here that, because the Apostle Paul is very knowledgeable, especially, I mean, even prior to the revelations that came from Yahweh Shai, he was learned. All right, Apostle Paul was learned. He was taught by Gamaliel, who was a doctor in the law. So there were a lot of things that the Apostle Paul knew and learned. And then in addition to that, all the revelations that Yahweh Shai gave him. But as he said, when he came to the Corinthians, he didn't come in excellency of speech or in wisdom, basically to for them to look at him in awe, like, oh my gosh, you know, this man is this super high, deep individual. I mean, look at the knowledge, look at the power that's oozing off of him. You know, the lightning that's he didn't come with that, and he's gonna go into why. You got it.
All right. Verse 2. For I determined not to know anything among you save Yahushua Mashiach and him crucified.
Right. So he basically came, and the main thing that the Apostle Paul spoke was about Yahushua. Why? So that the center of attraction would be Yahushua. It wouldn't be of Paul, because one thing the Corinthians were also doing was the Apostle Paul speaks about divisions between them. Why? Because you had some that would say, "Oh, I'm on Paul's team, I'm on Apollo's team, or I'm on Peter's team, or I'm on as if there was sex in that." Okay? And that's because you look at men, and when you start to look at them more than they actually are, you start to have these kinds of situations. So he said, look, I didn't even come to give you any reason, any cause, any thoughts for you to look at me as though I'm the one where your attention should be on. Your attention should be on Yahushua. That's why he said, that's all I came. That's all I came to teach. That's all I came to preach, Yahushua. Go ahead.
And I was with you in weakness and in fear and in much trembling. And my speech and my preaching was not with enticing words of man's wisdom.
You hear that? So he didn't come with sounding all deep. Like, you got this guy Polite. They call him Brother Polite. He trying to find these big words and trying to sound as eloquent as possible to wow you. So when you hear, even if he literally says a whole load of crap in one sentence, just because of the way he's saying it, the words he's using, you think he's super, super deep. The Apostle Paul said, that's not why I came here. That's not the reason for me coming here. I came here plain and simple. All right. No wisdom of man's words, no words of man's wisdom. The things that people esteem highly in this society. Go on.
But in demonstration of the Spirit and of power.
Right, in demonstration of the Spirit and of power, to show that this is straight from Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. I'm just a vessel. Okay, the attention, the focal point is Yahushua. All right, that's where your mind should be. Go on.
That your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men, but in the power of the Most High.
Right. So that, like, you have certain individuals that they watch videos and they come into the truth, or they want to be a part of the truth, not because they believe, not because they're sincerely trying to repent and follow the ways of Yahushua, but because they saw men on the highways and byways bringing out scriptures, cutting somebody, or rebuking somebody, and it looked cool, or it looked nice, or he looked like, damn, he really knows what he's doing. I want to look like that. So they come in there trying to imitate or gain that, in their mind, vainglory. That's not the point. And people like that don't last, because Yahushua, he's not going to sup with you, because you didn't come to sup with him. You came because you were a fanboy, basically, and that's not what you're supposed to be. Go on. That was it on that? Okay. So now let's jump to the first chapter. And it's these epistles that the Apostle Paul wrote to these churches is very crucial even in this time, because guess what? The individuals that made up those churches are back here again today. Just like the apostles, the prophets, the disciples, they're all back here again today. So the same behavior or similar that we read about it happens again today in this time, in this day and age. All right, and so we can read these epistles and learn, okay, and apply it in this time.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and 17. For Mashiach sent me not to baptize, but to preach the gospel, not with wisdom of words, lest the cross of a Mashiach should be made of none effect. For the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness.
So now with wisdom of words, lest the cross, read that part again?
Lest the cross of a Mashiach should be made of none effect.
Right. Meaning that he didn't come here to, once again, emphasizing the point, he didn't come to wow you with the wisdom of words and have you believe on or believe through the eloquence of his speech, but rather he came so that you could believe through Yahushai. All right? The Apostle Paul is basically saying, look, I'm here to direct you to the man. I'm not the man. I'm here to direct you to the man. Go on. And then in order to avoid any distractions or any vain thoughts along the way, he kept it plain and simple, straight to the point. Go on.
For the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness.
Right. So those that perish, those that are without, those that are not destined to be saved, is foolishness unto them, and that's why they don't give it a second thought. They don't consider it. They're not interested. Go on.
But unto us which are saved, it is the power of God.
So that's who? The elect. So to the elect, this truth is the power of Yahushai, or of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, it's precious, and it emphasizes the because we believe it, right? So it's powerful. But to those that are not destined to be saved, they don't believe it, and that's why they're not going to be saved. Go on.
For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent.
Mm-hmm.
Where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of this world?
Right. So basically, the Apostle Paul is emphasizing that all these positions, all people that are considered to be or esteemed when it comes to wisdom of this world, they're nothing. Okay, they're in the Lord's eyes, or in reality, they're really nothing. Like scribes were esteemed in high positions because they were the ones who would study the laws and would be able to make decisions and interpret certain difficult aspects of the law. All right, and so that's why you had scribes that were enrolled in the Sanhedrin, so that when there were matters of the law that weren't easy to discern or easy to just interpret right away, they would be able to step in and basically take care of that. All right, and say, all right, this falls under this category, or this falls here, and so this is how it should be dealt with. But as the Apostle Paul is saying, where are they? As in, of what significance are they really? Yeah, let's go in here when we're done. We'll come here. I don't want to get cut off while doing the lesson. All right, so yeah, go ahead.
Have not God made the foolish the wisdom of this world?
Mm-hmm.
For after that, in the wisdom of God, the world by wisdom knew not God.
Mm-hmm.
It pleased God by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believed.
Mm-hmm. By the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. So that's why we're out here doing this. It's considered foolish, but guess what? This is what pleases the Most High, and this is our ticket to salvation. Not only for us, but for those that will hear through the words that we speak. Go on.
For the Jews require a sign, and the Greeks seek after wisdom.
Right. So the Jews, which was referring to the circumcised, those in Judea that didn't believe, was because they were looking for a miracle. They were looking for some big grandiose sign that would say, hey, this is the Messiah, believe on him, or this is the truth, follow it. And that's why Yahushua said that this wicked and adulterous generation seeketh for a sign, but they're not going to get anything save the sign of the prophet Jonah. Go on.
But we preach a Mashiach crucified.
Right. And he said in the Greeks for wisdom, meaning that you got like when the Apostle Paul, I think he was in Athens when he saw, basically had the Epicureans and the Stoics and all these different groups that would gather at this one area, this marketplace, basically to come and hear something new. That's what they desire. Okay, go on.
Unto the Jews a stumbling block.
Unto the Jews a stumbling block, because the Jews is referring to those that couldn't receive it, that didn't believe on Yahushua. So the preaching of Yahushua was a stumbling block onto them. Go on.
And unto the Greeks foolishness.
And the Greeks here is referring onto not actual heathens, but Israelites. Okay, you had the word there is Helen or Helene, which is Greek, but you had Israelites that were or Israelite foreigners that some knew they were Israelites, some didn't know they were Israelites, but in any case, they were living in foreign lands, practicing the Greek customs. Okay, go on.
But unto them which are called, both Jews and Greeks, Hamashiach, the power of God and the wisdom of God.
Yeah, so unto them that are called, both, so you had Israelites of the elect from the quote unquote the Jews or the circumcision. To them, it wasn't a stumbling block, right? And you had the elect that were of the Israelite foreigners or Israelites that were living in these different lands, practicing Greek customs that didn't even know they were Israelites. To them, it wasn't foolishness, and that's why they believed on it, or they believed on Yahushua. Go on.
Because the foolishness of God is wiser than men, and the weakness of God is stronger than men.
That's right.
For ye see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called.
Yeah, because why did the Lord do that? To emphasize his power, so he gets the glory. Because it's not expected that those that are not wise or noble according to the flesh would be put in high positions. So when that happens, you know that it's not normal. It's the power of God. Go ahead.
Oh, so that's why he also like deals with small numbers and small remnants.
That's
Okay,
right.
yeah.
That's right. Yep.
But God hath chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise.
Yeah, because that creates that shock value. Oh, shoot, how, what, where? That's why these people, they look at us. You see how the Most High designed it to where we are considered the foolish things of the world. You know, number one, the outward appearance, because people don't regard Jake in this society as anything in high regard. So not only are we low esteemed as a nation in this society, but also just our look and our appearance. You would not expect to hear the things you hear from men that look like us. So the Lord did that on purpose. So now when people see and hear it, they're like, yo, this is, you know, this is wow. They're wild. And they have, even our adversaries have nothing to gainsay against it. All right. Start heading up. Keep reading.
And God hath chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty, and base things of the world, and things which are despised have God chosen. Yea, and the things which are not, to bring to naught things that are. That was it.
All right, let's read the last one.
All right. Rock, 2:8.
So yeah, man, ultimately, that's what we got to understand, that even the Apostle Paul, with all the wisdom and knowledge that he had, he said that, look, this wasn't given to me to come and basically flex with it, you know. So you can look at me, you know, as some Israelites, they don't understand that in today's day and age. You know, they think that, no, this I'm in the spotlight. It's about, no, it's not about you. Your job is to highlight Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh work. That's why he gave us this knowledge. Go on.
This is Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach, chapter 32:8. Let thy speech be short, comprehending much and few words. Be as one that knoweth and yet holdeth his tongue.
There you go. See? So, I mean, just because you know doesn't mean you have to say it. If it adds on to the point, if it's edifying, if it's needed, then yes, for edification, for the glorification of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. But if you're just saying it just to flex your knowledge on, or how much you know, or so people can look at, damn, this brother D, what is that ultimately going to avail? You know, we're all adding on for the same goal, which is to glorify and to serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. So the highlight, the emphasis, the point is on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Okay? You got anything you want to add?
No, that's it.
All right, cool. So anyway, with that, we're going to end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Rakha Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.